Hi, Alex. Okay. I have your 6139 Baby Jumbo here. For those of you, quick aside, for those of you curious, why in the world is it called a Baby Jumbo? You just sort of get a look at it and the clean design of it. Here's the Jumbo. This is the blue dialed so-called, darn it, petrol variant. They also had one that was dark black like this, but both variants in the 6138 had these yellow hands. The 6139 variants, they were all black and white, just straight pure black and white. But as you can see, they're really, really super clean designs, unusually restrained for Seiko with their 6138s. They love to make them just wacky. But you see the sort of the design similarities and how they're laid out. They're actually built a lot of the same too. They both use G-type cases. And what that is you have a crystal. It's a two-part crystal where the crystal is bonded into a metal ring. It's called a V-type crystal. V is in Victor. And you have to push these out from the inside. It's sort of a little quirk of these jumbos. You don't see it too often in too many other watches that Seiko made. I mean, they did use it, but the reason I talk about the crystals and why this is relevant is that your crystal has a big honking, big old scratch across it right there. There's one of two things. I don't remember right off the top of my head if I have one of these crystals or if I'm gonna have to hunt one down. The other alternative is I can remove the flat crystal part from this with heat and then cement in a new one into the existing ring. That's kind of one of the ways that we have to deal with stuff these days, because these are long out of production. Okay, well, we got us an issue. Look at that minute counter hand, it's not moving. So, one issue, your cannon pinion feels pretty good. Your minute hand paint is in good shape. If these things go through a hard reset, sometimes you'll see the paint on that tip of the minute hand there chipped up. Because if you reset these things hard enough, the sweep seconds hand there can flex and it'll come out of plane and it'll bonk on the end of that, which is also a real good way to kill your chronograph wheel. Trying to see two things. I want to watch that minute counter hand get pushed over, and I want to see what happens at midnight. Okay. Absolutely nothing happens. So your minute counter hand is not, it is stuck. Something is not happy. Something is not right. Get that case back off of there. Look and see what we're seeing. Oh, good, that wasn't too tight. Well, got a little flake of something right there. It's always a good sign. Gasket's a little hardened. I don't see any servicing marks. I see a lot more of those little flecks and flakes of things in there. Just one second for me. Out of there. It's nice that you've got your original bracelet, and it looks pretty well full length too. I've got pieces of one of these bracelets, but not a complete one. Okay, the minute counter wheel does move. It's got a True Pogue style weight with that True Pogue text on it. Look at that. Oh God, great serial number, by the way. Look at that. I love that. That's cool. More hairs. This thing looks like it was a hair puller. I'm going to have to take that. No, I got it. I can see barely. I'm looking right in here. There's the intermediary minute counter wheel. I'm trying to look and see if it's at like an angle or something, because I don't want to pull the weight off and all that other kind of stuff yet. We clearly have a problem, but the wheel is not moving happy on its own. Mainspring is now at full power. Feels a little sticky. That's not a surprise. Look at that, the hand is just staying there. The pinion, let me check something here. I am moving that. Well, okay. The hand does move, that's good. So we now know that the hand is set wrong, but it does reset because it resets there to 50 seconds. But it does not want to turn over. And that could be something as minor as it literally just needs cleaning. Let's pull over and go look at the numbers. We need to see those. I'm not working with Citizen today. Let's go over here. Oops. Oh wait, it stopped cold. Yeah, it will not push over that minute counter hand. So that was the whole movement was stopped at the minute counter hand. Not bad for base numbers for an original unrestored watch. This looks like an original unrestored sock drawer watch to me. Putting out steady numbers, they're low. It's got some beat error, but it's really consistent. That's a good place to start. I know that wheel turns over. I'm not exactly sure what I'll find, but we are for sure. No, it's a good place to start. It's a good place to start, but let's see what kind of numbers we get, if any. Yeah, I just reset that. Let's start it again. This is, it should be able to run for for 55 seconds before it runs into the minute counter hand. We'll see if it gets us any different numbers. It's a little lower with the chronograph running. Not much though. The accuracy is about the same. And the beat error is the same. Yeah, so we're getting consistent numbers. It looks like the big issue, besides needing servicing, is the minute counter hand. And as soon as that thing comes around and hits it, it's gonna shut down. Could be as simple as an adjustment, I'm not sure. Okay, this is, if we turn this over, we should see that it hit 59. And in fact, that is what we saw. So the minute counter wheel is stuck. It doesn't want to turn over, but the watch runs in both conditions, stopped and started. It looks original to me. It's gonna have the usual things that it's gonna need. Well, let's go back over there. Yeah, so that's not bad. The condition, the visual condition is in line with, the cosmetic condition is in line with what looks to be the functional condition. The movement looks pretty clean, all things considered. You'll notice there's no weight grinding here. The bridge isn't floppy. When this oscillating ball bearing framework starts getting loose, the weight will start grinding on the edge of these plates right here. And we don't see any of that, which is nice. This is the correct position. There's a couple sort of at a glance positions that these arms are at when I know that they're stock or not stock, and this looks stock. This is real typical. This one's had some miles on it, had some time. I have never yet come across one of these that didn't need the lower mainspring arbor port jewel. So that's something that we want to do. We're going to be in there. It takes care of a bunch of problems. We do the upper one as well at the same time. Then you never have to worry about the upper and lower mainspring arbor ports ever again, because they're jeweled. Yeah, it's good. You know, I just don't see these very often. I really, really don't. I mean, I'll show you. You want to see mine? Here, I'll show you my baby jumbo. It's in pieces. I do have a second one. I have a second movement there, and the dials are pretty jacked up on these. There's how the crystals are assembled. You've got this bezel here, and it snaps in around this V-type crystal. That's how they're made. This material here, this glass, is bonded into the ring with the same stuff that you use to make safety glass. So it can be released with heat. There, I just gave away a secret on how to get those apart. Here's a ring without the glass. That's what just the ring by itself looks like. Oh, I guess I've got a lot of a bracelet. I don't think it's enough to ever wear, but yeah, these G-type crystals, these are the ones that they're funky because you've got a force mount from the inside. You have a die on your crystal press that lands on the underside of the chapter ring, and it pushes the whole unit out. It's an unusual thing, but that's what gives it this sort of, gives the crystal that high sort of standing look. It's a really clean look, a beautiful design, very unique, very uniquely Seiko. Not very many people know about these, which is too bad because they're super cool. In any case, I think your watch is a great candidate for restoration, and I think that it will be happy after getting it. And maybe I'll do mine. Maybe I'll put mine together. Maybe I'll put one together for myself. Put mine right there. I've had it for years. I don't even know how long I've had it. I've been skating by with my jumbo. If anybody wants a jumbo, by the way, I know somebody, a real good guy, and he's selling his, and his is great. It probably needs service, but cosmetically it's magnificent. Anyway, oh, one thing I did forget to talk about. Your hand loom is a little grayed out. Not a lot, but some. I can improve that. Dial loom it's interesting because it actually has a little bit of a tan puffy look, which is not something you really see with 6139s. That's kind of interesting. But I don't know. It's something to think about. It's not dire, but it can be done, and it will make the watch look a little fresher. Okay, now I'm done.